Hello, everyone. I'm here. Hopefully, you can all hear me okay. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon here in Hawaii, and I'm just jumping in for a little live Facebook chat to bring you up to date on a couple things that have been going on around here and around the globe and energetically, and also kind of update you on a couple of things I'm offering to support you. So first of all, some of you may have been very in tune with what's going on with the eclipse, right? And I feel like this is I feel like it's washed over us, and now we can come up for air and feel the new energies that are upon us. Now, personally, I try to stay away from listening to what other people are saying about it because I want to tune into what's going on myself, right? I have my own connection to source. You have your own connection to source. And as you cultivate that, you get to pay attention to what your role is in the whole transformation of the energies of the globe, right? Each of us has a different role. So we have wonderful teachers out there. We have wonderful astrologers, cosmologists, and numerologists, and energy healers that can tell us what they're feeling and sensing. But I always direct people that I work with privately to pay attention to what's going on for themselves because they have their own private role to play for themselves and for the world as well. So if any of you are on live while I'm delivering this message, please feel free to jump in the chat and let me know what, if anything, you have been experiencing or supporting or whatever. I will be sharing with you a little bit of mine. Now, I'm out in Hawaii, so I didn't get to see any of the actual. Okay, this is part two. I got booted off. And so as many times as I will get booted off, we'll jump back in. Sometimes this happens, whatever. I am really appreciative of the fact that Hawaii is out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and we are picking up internet through satellites that are really far away. And look how phenomenal it is that we get to communicate. Some of you are my friends that are in the Northeast or in the Pacific Northwest, or you're in Australia, some in India, New Zealand, Canada. Isn't it amazing that we can connect this way? I'm always cognizant of the fact that we are becoming a much tighter global community with all of the technological developments that are going on. Okay, so I'm going to speak more quickly because I don't know if I'm going to get booted off again. If you are here and you're live, please jump in and leave a comment so that I know I'm speaking to you while we're here. So where I trailed off with part one was I just wanted to share with you some of my own personal experiences with what was going on in the eclipse. And then as I was paying attention to what other people were experiencing as well, I found all of this commonality, like lots and lots and lots of people were going through the same thing, thinking they were going through it by themselves. And now that we shared our experiences, we're like, wow, so much of this has been happening to all of us in common. But I don't want you to take this to heart as to what you were supposed to experience or what you experienced, or this whole thing is really how are we paying attention to how we are fitting in with what's going on in the global and atmospheric and astrological and cosmological energies. And I'm super, super empowered and excited about the new things that are on the horizon. This eclipse energy apparently is not small, and it wasn't for me. It was pretty major and will continue to have effects for quite some time. So let me just share with you some of those thoughts and experiences, and then you can share your own and we can see where we all are. And remember, we're always here to support each other. We're here to share our ideas. We're here to support each other always, because we are all going back home to God constantly and every minute, and we carry each other, right? Okay, so leading up to before the eclipse, well, first I want to just say that in Hawaii, we didn't see any of it. We didn't get any of it. You know, the physical form of the moon passing over the sun was not part of our experience here out in the Pacific, but I was watching so many of you share photos and experiences that were in the US and, watching the whole trail of how it was going across. And that was really fun to see all of that. So the whole week leading up to this, I felt called to spend a lot more time in meditation. You know, I can feel the impulse from the inside come over me, like go and sit in your meditation chair and connect. And every time I would go in there, I felt so much releasing from the heart, like energy moving through the heart, moving through the heart, moving through the heart. It's like felt like it was endless. Like, am I, was my heart so closed? And I don't think my heart was closed. I think what's happening is a more expanding and a releasing of any kind of coagulated pain that's in there. And I'm aware of the fact that I'm not just doing this for me. It's like I signed up for this job or this role to clear more heart energy. And some of you who are healers or counselors or helpers came to Earth with a big open heart or wanting to heal humanity's heart, which is often so broken. We're broken hearted because coming down to Earth was coming down to an experience of lack of love. We came from a place of pure love. We come down here and it's like, oh my God, what insanity. And we often experience a lot of brokenheartedness. So as we heal that within ourselves, we also are capable of taking on the role of healing more of the heart concentration of the earth, of humanity, and that in turn helps others heal heart as well. So in that week leading up, there was that happening within myself, a calling for heart healing, and also an awareness that in that doing, there was a release of a lot of old things. There was a release of a lot of suppression and oppression. And that what was becoming much more clear was this ability to receive the new freedom and the new enlightenment and the new ability to spread our wings and finally be in the position of where we want to be. But that... Okay, are we back? Looks like there was an interruption connection. I'm going to keep going as long as I see that live button happening. Do say hello or put something in the chat if you can communicate so I know I'm talking to somebody here. Okay, so during the actual eclipse day, I felt so sleepy, like more normally sleepy, like way more. And I kept saying, well, get over it and get disciplined and do your thing. And I had projects and I had tasks and I was working on things that suddenly like came to a stop. And within that was this feeling of like, well, what's wrong with me? And, the regular old crap. Like if we're not doing, we end up judging, like, is there something wrong with me? Right? So a lot of that was coming up, but I know better than to allow guilt to feel real. I know better than to judge myself. I know that the most important thing was to stay present in the moment and do what I was being asked to do, which was to sleep, which is to rest, which was to forgive. So that's, I tried to work on my projects and I just couldn't. So I didn't. So this went on for like 2 days. And I also found myself sleeping really, really deeply. And then, boom, lo and behold, everything was gone and everything was released. And this massive, massive bright light of optimism. Look, the sun just kind of like took over me. So, this beautiful openness and optimism, and accompanied with fire. And the reflection of the images I was seeing was of women on fire, like taking no prisoners, just being really clear in who they are. I mean, even like Hillary came out and coming out with statements like, I'm not putting up with this creep, whatever she said, doesn't matter. I was seeing reflections in all areas of my life of the feminine suddenly strong, built up, taking no prisoners, and moving forward on her dreams. And this is happening with me. It's happening with a lot of women that I'm seeing. And with my private clients, they're just like stepping it up. They're feeling like, I don't want to waste time anymore. I just want to get to it. And they have this intense clarity in their vision. They know exactly what steps they want to take, and they're taking them, and they're getting rid of a lot of crap. By crap, I mean like extraneous activities that are wasting their time. They know they're wasting their time. Like they knew it was wasting their time, but they just kept hanging on. No more. Just like no more. So what I want to say is our time has come. And if anything that I have said to you feels like, yeah, me too, like this is happening for me too, and you're ready to invest in some support for yourself, here's what's going on for the month of August. The month of August is about getting rid of the old and having clarity to get rid of the old. It's a number 9 month for this year. That means completions. That means the end of things that were started 9 months ago. It's time to put a done button on them, delete button on them, cross them off the list kind of thing, because, and you want to be adamant about this, because when September comes, it's a number 1, and this is going to mean the start of new things. You don't want to be getting into September with a lot of leftover crap that you didn't get rid of in August. So I'm encouraging you to step this up, and I'm offering you some support in that. And what I've done is decided to create a small package of 3 sessions. And the 3 sessions includes 1 healing session and 2 coaching sessions to go with it. And what we actually start with is 1 long coaching, which is a 90-minute intake, where you're going to kind of like, in order for me to be really effective with you, I need to have time receiving what's going on for you. So we start with a questionnaire that you fill out online first. You give me all the details. We have a 90-minute of an intake where you just download it all to me, and I'm trained how to listen. Believe it or not, you really will experience a difference when you are speaking to someone who is a trained, high-level listener, right? There's a transformation that occurs right from there, right from being acknowledged and being listened to. Number 2 is the actual energetic healing session that occurs. And what happens in there is the use of some high-level abilities to connect with Christ consciousness, which is the energy that is doing the healing to you. It's a transformation of everything that is old, that is negative, that is holding you back. Now, I am not involved in that process other than being the facilitator for you. For Christ, who will come down, knows much more about you than I could possibly ever know. Christ is aware of who you are on a soul level. Christ is aware of everything that has occurred to you for you in this lifetime. Christ is aware of where you are challenged. Christ is aware of where you have heartbreak and heart pain and wants to neutralize whatever you're carrying around that doesn't serve you anymore so that you can just at least be on a playing field where you can begin to expand. Now, sorry, giant bee went by. So this expansion for you is up to you, and it is your learning process, right? So the healing session will be over. It's all recorded. You get to keep those recordings. And then the third session, which usually happens within a week to 10 days, is when we have a coaching session, the final one. So that's the package of 3. In the session number 3, I'm going to hear what the transformations were for you, because there will be transformations from that healing session. And then I'll assist you in laying out the steps that you want to take. We get it written down. Like, this is what I'm going to do next week and the week after and the week after that. This little compact scenario of 3 sessions can have powerful effect for you for the next 6 months to a year. Of course, it is going to depend on how assertive you can be about getting rid of what is no longer serving you. Sometimes it's energetic. Sometimes it's actually making practical, concrete, feet on the ground decisions about who in your life you have to create more space with, like make more space between you and some people. What activities in your life used to be interesting, used to be good for you, used to be growth oriented, but no longer are? They've come to a close. It's time to evolve. It's time to change. What about your health? What about your finances? What needs to be cleaned up, deleted, gotten rid of? Okay, so these are all questions that you can ponder on your own, whether you're deciding to work with me privately or not. There's plenty of information in this video for you to go on your own. Get out your journal. Start writing things down. You owe it to yourself to sit down for at least a half hour and reflect on what God really wants for you. Because, this loving force of energy is always trying to reach you, is always trying to give to you. And if we could just clear enough space in our minds to allow that love and that light in, our lives can transform. Okay, that's all, folks. Love you, care for you, hope you're all doing well, and would love to hear from you in the chat. And I'm going to include a link of where you can go to see about this 3-session package. I don't know how long I'm going to leave it up. I'm limiting it to 7 people right now because these changes are happening now. The opportunity is now. September comes, I will have something else because it's going to be the energy of rebirth, renewal, starting new things. It's not going to be the energy of getting rid of. The getting rid of is now, okay? So I hope you are thinking about taking the leap and taking assertive steps for your own personal growth. Okay, my loves, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.